Hi guys, welcome to IRL with Hannah. I'm your host, Hannah Smith, Senior Graphic Artist and Social Media Lead here at William Ravis. Today I have an amazing guest with me. It's, I would say, a lot of people's favorite coach and trainer and someone who we all like to start our mornings with. Welcome, Christa Ross. Christa, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at Ravis.
Oh my gosh, how am I going to follow that up? A little about myself. A single mother, two grown children. Came from a career in marketing and publications at Sotheby's in Manhattan. Uh, Took some time off to raise my children. Re-entered the workforce, started at Ravis, and have been here ever since.
Amazing. So, you've had quite the incredible journey from assistant manager to now the SVP of career development at Ravis. Tell us a little bit about like that evolution over time.
What I really think is noteworthy about that trajectory is the opportunity that the company gives you for that kind of growth. I started at the front desk in the flagship office. That was after I had been hired for some teams as a personal assistant. The teams had retired, and of course, I started panicking and crying that I was going to be unemployed. And Bill was like, "No, I'm going to make you a spot. I'm going to make you a spot." So he gave me the front desk position. And then a few years later, I was promoted to operations manager in Westport and kind of just took off from there. And I think that one of the things about the company is that they encourage growth, they encourage kind of development of your skills, and they recognize people with elevation, and that's important.
Amazing. So, you've been leading a lot of the training with Close and Ravis 365 recently. Tell us, how that's going, and it seems the agents have been really engaged with it. Why do you feel it's resonating with them?
I have to tell you, it really did surprise me because Wayne Edmonds, our senior vice president of IT, told me this was the fastest adoption of any of the systems we have put into play in the last 10 years. I thought that was a really powerful statement about the technology the agents wanted. There's a learning curve involved. It's not an overnight process, but I've been really encouraged by the number of agents that have fooled around with the technology themselves and tried to use it to their advantage because it was like a long time ask of agents to get a CRM that was really like a lot of bells and shiny whistles and could do things with one click. So I'm looking forward to my roadshow, kind of getting in the grit of the sidewalk and seeing what the real live response is.
Awesome. So, you have been running the morning boost for quite some time now. Can you speak to that a little bit about like where the idea came from? You've built such a loyal following, so I just want to hear more about that.
And thank you all for following. I know who you are. The Morning Boost was born from COVID lockdown. We had no way of reaching out to agents who were also in their homes trying to run their business, trying to find out what marketing tone to use, if they should even use a marketing tone. It was really important for us to try to communicate with them on an intimate level because people were all over the map emotionally as well as professionally. So, what I tried to do was bring training to them. It started out as classes, but then people would write me every day with little requests, and they were more motivational and helped me wrap my head around this, be there for me. So, the Morning Boost became a shorter program that was very motivational and intentional and connective and ideal, and it took off from there.
Awesome. Well, it is definitely the best way to start your morning. I think we can all agree. Is there an episode or a moment that really has stuck with you over the time?
There's a couple, but I would say my proudest moment is the 500th
The
episode
500.
because that was really a marker for me about dedication, and it's a really interesting. A lot of people think I pre-record it, and I don't. I record it very early in the morning. Those mornings that I do it, and it's been a life-changing kind of endeavor for my partner Cliff and the people and my dog, the people in my household that have to wake up early. So I think the 500th was a really important achievement.
With how fast-paced the real estate industry is, what would you say professionals and agents should be prioritizing when it comes to mental health and avoiding burnout with, how we always have to be constantly on?
Yeah, that's probably the strongest dynamic that I see in the field when I have sidebars with agents. They don't so much ask me training questions. They really want to translate the burnout, the physical, being on 7 days a week. You never have time to yourself. Your phone is always ringing. The mental space you need sometimes for your private life just doesn't exist. And that's a real life struggle with a lot of people that own their own business and are their own entrepreneurs. So that's kind of what I fold into the boost, those kind of techniques. But also, I think it's really important, especially in this industry that's changing every day. Really hard to keep up. You're stressed out all the time. So I would say prioritizing your mental health and your physical well-being has become center for a lot of agents.
And is that how you avoid burnout? What would you say you do to avoid burnout personally?
I go to bed like I was 5 years old. I go to bed around 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes in the summer, the sun is still up. It's embarrassing. But I have to do that. I have to get better. This year's goal is to unplug a little bit more because the phone is always on. I'm always responsive to people that are reaching out no matter when they reach out. So I think putting the boundaries on things sometimes is really necessary and bumper
Absolutely.
guard you from the outside world that's always pervasive.
So for this next segment, it's going to be called IRL Unhinged. So I'm going to ask you a question and just answer it as honestly as you want.
Okay. I'm scared.
Do you regret naming it the morning boost and not the afternoon boost? No, I'm just kidding. What is your most toxic productivity habit? Because you're someone that really trains on, coaching agents how to prioritize and, time block and all that. What would you say is personally your own toxic productivity habit?
I am really bad at drawing lines in the sand, of honoring time blocks, of I'm prepared, but I function in that energy of last minute ism, sometimes to my detriment. But I would say if I could change one thing about my behaviors, it would be this is a really interesting story that Ryan Ravis, actually, we were having a conversation and I said to him, I'm exhausted. And he said, why are you exhausted? And I said, oh, because I was working all weekend and answering my phone. And he was like, well, that's on you. And he didn't mean it in any other way but practical way. And I thought, you know what, that is on me. And ever since that moment of kind of clarity from an outside source, I was like, all right, here's the person I report to saying, turn your phone off sometime. That was a really big light bulb moment for me. And
I love that.
I hope to course correct that the next time you interview me.
All right, well, that was Christa, IRL. Thank you guys for joining, and tune in next time to see what amazing guests we have on. We'll see you there.